welcome to or welcome back to Cooking with Pouncy. Tonight we're going to do a hot dish, if you will, please. I think you can call it goulash because there's variations of that that's called goulash as well. But we're going to call it a hot dish, Cooking with Pouncy hot dish. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. And if it's your first time, come back again if you would, please. If you like what you see, guys, please hit that like button. I'm told I need those likes with the bell ringing and stuff like that. And I'd certainly appreciate that, guys. So I've got 2 pounds of hamburger meat here. It's right here. I can show that to you here. I was going to put like 1.5 pounds, I guess. It'll all be an ingredient list for you in terms of what I actually use for this dish. But I've got 2 of these and they're a pound a piece. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do with the other half pound? I'm going to put it in this dish, okay? So we'll start out with 2 pounds of hamburger meat. This happens to be 85-15 fat to lean ratio. 80-20 is another good one. You don't want it too fat, though, guys. You have to skim off a lot of grease and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, enough said about that. A little salt, regular salt I've got here. Certainly you can use the salt of your choice. Could be sea salt or kosher salt, whatever. This is regular salt here. I'm going to put a dash of red pepper flakes I have here. Probably, yes, I will do that. I've got some oregano here as well. And I've got here some basil as well. So oregano, basil. I've got some red pepper flakes and my salt and pepper here. That's going to be to taste. Probably about 1/2 teaspoon of each one of those, guys, okay? I'm going to shake some chili powder in there too. Probably 1/2 teaspoon. Maybe 1/2 teaspoon of each one of these. Again, it'll be an ingredient list for you. I said what the finished thing's going to look like. As you guys have seen my videos, if you've watched them, I ad-lib a lot. But I'll have it in the ingredient list for you in terms of what I'm going to have. I've got some of the large elbow macaronis here. I'll be using. I could have got the little tiny one, but I wanted the big one, so I got the large ones here. I'm going to be using probably about 2.5 cups of this elbow macaroni into this 2 pounds of meat here. Trying to get my ratio of ingredients kind of together. Okay. I've also got some diced tomatoes here. I'm going to be using those in this process as well. Probably use maybe half of that can. I might use the whole can, maybe half. Okay, it'll be in the list for you. I've got some tomato sauce here as well. Once again, I'll probably be using either half of that or maybe the whole can. We'll see. It'll be an ingredient list for you. I got a full onion here. Full onion is, and I'll probably use this entire. No, I won't. I'm going to use half of this and half of that. That's what I'm going to do, guys. Okay, but I'll be chopping that up momentarily as well. In the interim, and then I've got some beef stock or beef base here. Broth, this is called. So I'm going to be using some of that, probably a cup maybe. Again, it'll depend on the ratio of the ingredients I got going here. So beef browning off over there. I might add, guys, I washed this cutting board. I took my beef out. I took a scissor and I cut it and I dumped it in my skillet, which is right behind me over here, and it's cooking currently, browning off, if you will. And let's go ahead and get our. If I take my glasses off so I can see. Let's go ahead and get our half a green pepper here diced up, okay, guys? Said do that, and like I said, Pouncy, Cooking with Pouncy ad-libs a lot. You guys that watch my videos knows that, and I say that only because when I last saw you a few minutes ago, I didn't have any cheese on this cutting board, did I? But I got some there now because I decided to put some cheese in it. All right, I got my dice getting ready here for my onion, and we're going to go ahead and do this because that beef is browning quite quickly over there. And this is 1/2 of a large onion. And that's what we're going to do with this. I'm being careful, guys. It might look like I'm not that reckless. And I've got them all about the same consistency, which is what I want. Get my green pepper diced here, guys. And all I'm going to do is go like this. All right. We got those green pepper diced, about like the onion. And that's 1/2 of a bell pepper as well, all right? All right. And we're done with that process. I'm going to take this now. And we're going to incorporate it into our meat process, which is over there doing this thing, getting brown. You guys already know how to do this, right? So let's just do this. And I'll be moving the camera maybe. Beef's got a lot of water in it, guys. A little bit, I don't know why I'd be perturbed, but I think they put water in it to get the weight up to where they need it to be or something. But that water's going to cook out as well. But I'm going to put the onions and bell pepper in there right now as well, which is what I just did, and I'll show that to you. Without any further ado, that's all I did, guys, okay? I just incorporated that. And again, it's got a lot of water in it, but that water is going to help to cook those green peppers, and that green pepper and onions as well, okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and let that do its thing. My water's boiling for my macaroni over here. I'm going to be putting 2.5 cups of macaroni in that boiling salted water over there. And then we'll start putting the rest of our ingredients in it. We're back. And here it is, sizzling like it needs to sizzle. And you guys notice too, I didn't mince up that ground beef. I left it kind of chunky, if you would, please. A little chunky, I hope that's the right word, so that you'll have pieces of ground beef in there. We're going to start putting our seasoning in here now too, guys, with salt and pepper and I'm going to put a dash, let's call it a dash. I'm going to of these red pepper flakes in here. And that's all I'm putting in here of that. And we're going to do some salt in here, just like I showed it to you earlier, but we're going to do that to taste. There's no salt at all in this yet. We'll do it to taste, all right? We're going to come with our black pepper. This is here too, and that'll be to taste. I'm saying about a half a teaspoon of each, not with the exception of that red pepper flakes, so okay? All right, for now. And we're going to put some basil in there, maybe a half teaspoon of basil as well. And that's just regular ground basil. I think you guys can see that, okay? Let's put a little of that in there. Not much. Yeah, we're going to do the same thing with our oregano. Same thing. Not too much. It's to taste, guys, okay? Again, it'll be an ingredient list for you. And here goes my chili. And I say, what is he putting all in there? I don't know. I'm just doing it, guys, because that's what I do. And here we go again, guys. A little chili, not too much. We're going to call that about a teaspoon. All right? And we're going to get a little stir here. As you can hear, it's really starting to cook. Sizzling here, right? Get it all mixed up together there. And you want that meat to get done, guys. You don't want pink meat going into this item. This item, when you blend it all together and put it in the oven, everything is actually done, like I said. And all we're going to have to do then is melt that cheese. So this is really a quick dish to make if you want to make it for yourself and your family. And it's already smelling good with the stuff I already got in there. And my noodles are over here boiling. And I'm going to stir those. I've got about 2.5 cups, like I said, as well, of macaroni noodles. You guys wonder why I'm sneezing. I'm trying to sneeze, rather, because stuff I just got done shaking in here with the dust coming off of it. The dust coming off of it. Doesn't have too much fat in it, guys. I don't see the need for me to tilt it sideways. I didn't see the need for that, I should say, to drain any excess fat off of there. So I won't, because I don't have to, all right? So, stir my noodles again. We don't want them to get flat and, overcooked. Cook a bit when I put it in the oven for that 25 minutes or a half hour as well. I'm going to turn my heat down now, too, as I start to blend the rest of the ingredients in here. Let's get it down to about a medium. That's looking good, guys. And I know with that just little amount of salt I just put in there, too, made that taste just where it needs to be, too. So, all right? So, that's that deal. I'm going to now start adding my tomatoes, if you will. And my beef broth, beef stock, if you will. Let's put a little tomato sauce in here. We'll start out with like a half a can of each. And my tomato sauce, I showed it to you a while ago. You can see it. Just do that. I got about a half a can there. And I'm going to put a half a can of tomatoes in there. You know, guys, I actually could have put my macaroni in here as well, raw. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to cook my macaroni separate, which I did. Sometimes I don't do that. I don't remember the occasions why I won't. But this time I did it. But you can do that. You can put your macaroni in there. You can even buy macaroni that's partially cooked or something. I guess I bought it before, buying lasagna noodles and stuff. But here we go with our diced tomatoes. We're going to put a half a can of that in there too. And I'm only saying a half a can because we don't want it to get too wet either, all right? Because I'm going to put some beef stock in there too. By the time we get it all blended together, guys, I'm telling you, it's looking good. You see that, guys? That's looking good, guys. It is. Smelling good too. It really is. Mm-hmm. It is. And I want it a little wet too, guys. I don't want it dry. You know what I mean? And I got some enough moisture in there right now too. And again, I still got a half a can of tomatoes, as you know, and I got a half a can of my. I'll make sure I got all my ingredients in a half a can of my tomato sauce as well. So we're looking good, guys. my cheese diced up, guys, and I'll come back with you, and I'll be back with you in a little bit. My macaroni noodles will be done at that time now, and I just want you to see the consistency of it here. And again, I might be adding, I will be adding maybe the rest of my tomatoes, maybe even more of that tomato sauce as well. But we'll see. Okay, but that'll all be in the ingredient list for you. That looks good. I got my cheese diced up, and I'll show you that in a second here. And just little cubes is what I did, all right? Little cubes, that's all I did. And again, when I first started this process, I wasn't going to do that, put that cheese in it. But I changed my mind. I got a cup of my broth here, that beef broth. Let's put that in here. I got a cup in there. It's pretty wet now. I got my noodles ready here to go in here as well. So let's put our, it's looking good, guys. I got, again, a half a can of tomatoes. Again, cooking the pounds. I'm going to throw those in there because what am I going to do with them? I'm not going to throw those away, for God's sakes. Come on. Let's put those in there. Well, she's pretty soupy now. I'm going to turn the heat back up a little bit. So bring it back to a boil again. I don't want to boil my noodles again, though. I'm just going to put those, fold those in here in just a bit here. I'm going to get my cheese in there and get it, because it'll thicken up again once it's in the oven as well for that half hour. It looks good, guys. It looks good. I think you can see that, all right? All right, let's take our cheese now and distribute our cheese throughout this process here as well. The cheese is going to melt, and that's what I want it to do. I've made this before, guys. I made this about 500,000 times in my lifetime, but let's just put our cheese in there and get it all throughout the whole process. I didn't say it was a diet hot dish either, did I? You guys might have misunderstood me if you think I said that, but I did say that. So that's what I'm doing here, guys, with our cheese. I did get my heat turned back up, so it's going to start bubbling in a little bit here. And then we'll fold our noodles in here. That's about enough cheese. You can't overdo it, guys. You can overdo it if you put way too much stuff in there. We can put almost anything in hot dish, guys. All right, guys, there goes those bubbles I was telling you about. I put about a third of that block of cheese I had. Excuse me, that block of cheese I had in there too, guys. Okay. I guess I could have put the whole thing in here too, but I didn't. All right. It looks good, guys. Huh? I think you know it looks good, guys. You can see that, can't you? And all right. This doesn't need any more cooking, guys. All we are concerned with now is getting that cheese melted on the very top of it. And that's what's going to happen here, because now I'm going to shut the heat off because we don't need the heat anymore, right? And I'm going to fold my macaroni in there, like I said. And here it is right here. All right, here we go. Looking pretty good to cooking with Pouncy, guys, I'm telling you. And macaroni is going to swell a little bit more too, so. But for the most part, this is ready to go. This is ready to go, guys. It is ready to go. That cheese is melting in there. Doesn't that look good? Come on, guys. Can you just see the kids helping you make this? And you can. It's an easy dish to make. I might have made a big deal out of it, but it's an easy dish to make. And the kids would enjoy helping you make this dish. So there we go, guys. Here we go. She's looking pretty good, guys. All right. So I'm gonna put it in my dish here. Like I said, so we just put our cheese on top here, like I indicated. And all we need to do now is actually melt that cheese, guys. That's all we need to do here. And that's what we're after here. It's got lots of moisture in it. I can see the moisture or juice, if you will. And that's a good thing too. That cheese is all melted inside of it. Doesn't that sound good, guys? I'm telling you. There we go. There's our hot dish, guys. I've made goulash too, and I don't know what the difference is, guys. I've had it after making goulash as well. So anyway, I'm going to be done with putting the cheese on there. That's enough cheese, and you could put more if you want to, and I can still see some on my macaroni, but that's okay. We're going to put this in the oven at 350. That's I indicated, although the oven's already ready, been ready for quite a while. And I'm going to be putting it at about this. Doesn't that look good, guys? And it's hot too, so let me do that. Let me put this rack here. This one right here. Okay. I'm going to set my timer for about 25 minutes, guys. So that's all I need, actually, okay? All right, guys. So, again, it's bubbling. And it's pretty firm, too, guys. It's not moving around like it's got too much liquid in it. There's not a whole lot of fat on the top of it. I've got my bowls that I usually use for plating it up, and I always use my residual heat from those of you who watch my videos, my heat in the oven to heat my plates, which is what I'm doing here. And I got my own self, a piece of Texas cheese toast. And anyway, I wanted to show you the finished product as it came out of the oven. It looks really, really good, and it smells scrumptious, guys, okay? I'm going to plate this up now on these very, very hot bowls that I've got right here. And I'm going to have my little piece of Texas toast with cheese on it on the side here. And I'll show you that presentation when I come back, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, guys, we are done. My goodness, this is it. It looks really, really, really good, guys. I think you can see that. And I'll hold this one up for you. That plate is very, very hot. As you did, you saw me take it out of the oven. And it looks absolutely scrumptious, guys. And the other one looks the same, of course. One's got rosemary, one's got basil. Thyme, rather. But anyway, there they are. We're going to enjoy this for supper tonight, guys. Big time. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to Cooking with Pouncy. Please hit that like button if you like what you see. This was a very simple meal, too, guys. I put this whole thing together in probably 45 minutes total. Okay, and you can do the same thing, guys, if you decide to make this for yourself and your family. And pass this on as you see fit. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.